Welcome back to another episode of the Silly Little Girls Club, and my guest today is the incredible Eshita Kabra, the founder of Buy Rotation, which is the world's first social fashion rental app. She has the most incredible story and how she started this tech fashion business. She is one of the most inspiring women that I've ever had a conversation with, and I cannot wait for you to listen to her story. Welcome to the Silly Little Girls Club.
Thank you so much, Samantha, for having me.
Oh my God, honestly, I'm so happy that you're here because not only do you have an incredible business, but you have an amazing, story and pathway to that business. So I am honored that you would be on the Silly Little Girls Club, to be honest with you.
Well, I'm honored to even meet you, so thank you very much.
Thank you. So obviously you've gone from finance to then founding a fashion tech business. How? What was that journey? What was that pathway?
I like to think that I've actually created something for myself, and that's actually really, really helped me even during the tough times because I'm very much the core customer, the woman, the person who uses Buy Rotation every day.
Yeah.
But I founded Buy Rotation really from a first world problem, which was I wanted to wear nice clothes, quality clothes, designer clothes for my honeymoon, which is a trip of a lifetime, right? And I thought it'd be so cool if I could borrow some clothes just for 10 days in the desert of Rajasthan, take some amazing photos, all those outfit pics in the desert, with the palaces and things like that. And then I quickly noticed that there was a gap in the market. There was no sort of rental solution available online.
Wow.
So you had some of these boutique stores, which were more for gala dinners.
Yeah.
So big ball gowns or hat rentals.
Yeah.
But you never had things like, a pretty little Jacquemus dress, like a bright color to wear in the desert on holiday where it's hot weather. So that's when this idea sort of started brewing. And then it wasn't actually until I went on my honeymoon about 4 months later, after I had looked at the entire landscape, that I saw that there was a lot of textile waste in Rajasthan. And Rajasthan is very well known for its textile industry. And that's also where I was born.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't help but realize that actually the fashion industry is completely broken. And the idea and this gap that I had seen for fashion rental could actually fix that by making this linear consumption model much more circular.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, okay, this is so much more than a silly little girl wanting to wear designer clothes for a holiday.
It's so much bigger.
So much bigger than that. It's about sustainability. It's about community. It's about sharing economy. It's about side hustles. Some of the top lenders on the Buy Rotation app, they make more than £4,000 a month just from lending things like their dresses. Silly little things like your dresses are essentially making you lots and lots of money every month.
And they're not
in addition to your salary
in your closet when no one's enjoying them either.
Exactly.
Gosh, that's amazing. Because you look in your wardrobe and you've got all these beautiful things and you just don't have enough hours in the day to wear them sometimes. And there's these beautiful pieces and they're just going to waste almost. So
exactly. And we've done that with Airbnb and Uber. We get into strangers' cars that are owned by them every day. We on holiday stay in other people's beds and breakfast and houses and things like that. I mean, even if you think about hotel rooms, right? When you're sleeping on the bed linen or using a towel, that wasn't just for you. It's been laundered and cleaned. So actually we're very much using the sharing economy every day anyway.
But just not applying it here.
Exactly.
Wow, that is honestly I feel like one of those genius epiphany moments that it's were you working, obviously you were working at the time when you came up with this idea, so did you kind of build this on the side then?
Yeah, and I think it's also what it is today for many other people that are on the app. It's a side hustle. And I founded Buy Rotation in April 2019.
Okay.
But I didn't go full time on it until 6 months later, so in October.
Yep.
So I was using my salary. The last thing I did was I worked at a distressed American hedge fund.
Oh, wow.
So I used the salary to pay interns, my senior developer, who's now our CTO, our Chief Technology Officer.
Wow.
Our PR, who still works with us to date. We haven't switched our PRs around. So yeah, I essentially bootstrapped the business in the early days.
Yeah.
And then COVID obviously hit, which was a bit annoying
Yeah, for sure.
because I was like, oh, I could have continued doing this on the side
Yeah.
while having a stable
Or
income.
furloughed. Like,
E-
yeah.
Exactly. And have like a tab open on my laptop
Mhm.
while I was building this. But actually, it really made me take the business much more seriously because I was like, I've left such a high opportunity cost behind, giving a 7-year long career in finance
Yeah.
to do this. I really have to make it work.
Yeah.
It's not an option. It's actually the only
That's terrifying.
way
Is that not really
forward.
scary?
I think so. But
Yeah.
I think, along that sort of that scariness was lighthearted things like being able to hang out with my husband, my dog, make banana bread,
Yeah.
paint walls. I think that took the pressure off
Yeah.
because everyone slowed down during
Yeah.
COVID. And we spent that time during COVID really educating the masses.
Mhm.
And in a strange way, you had a captive audience because everyone was online.
Yeah.
That was the only way we could interact with other humans.
Yeah, it actually was the perfect time because everything was digitized. So everyone then got over this like need to be like, oh, what if it's not like bricks and mortar and I can touch it? It's not real. But like that soon
Yeah.
shifted.
And I felt as an outsider to the fashion, tech, media industries, I had to build my network from ground up. Like I used to work in finance. I didn't know anyone that I now know today.
Yeah.
I thought it was actually quite democratized because everyone was in lockdown. There weren't all these events that I wasn't invited to that I couldn't have a seat at the table at.
Yeah.
Now it was really like, oh, there's an interesting Instagram live series happening, and this is an interesting business idea.
Yeah.
Let me give this woman and this company a chance.
Wow.
So in a weird way, while there were no transactions happening, we were building a community.
Yeah. And getting that profile and getting that brand awareness, right?
Yeah, exactly. In a very cost-effective manner.
Yeah. God, and then I suppose when you're bootstrapping a business in your early days, cost-effective methods were, probably very much welcomed at that point.
Yeah, and I think we still very much have that mentality today, 5.5 years in. I think it's so important in consumer businesses because times have been tough.
Oh, and they still are.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, and I just feel like if you look at the fashion industry as a whole, not just in the UK, quite a lot of like brands, multi-brand retailers, just like even conglomerates are really suffering because, fashion is very much a privilege. So it's something that you first cut back on when times are tough.
Yeah. No, and I think, what I saw it as being a hairdresser, like in COVID, like, and that sort of 2-year period, it was crazy
course.
because like we literally couldn't do anything. We were literally
You can't touch
shelved.
people's
No, we were
head.
mothballed, and I feel like that happened to so many different industries as well. And like of course, like fashion. If you weren't a loungewear business, you weren't getting anywhere, right? Because that's all everybody then suddenly wanted to have. Is like I think loungewear businesses like grew astronomically, and like everybody else like really just didn't. But that's
But it all comes back, right?
Mm.
Because now it's like everyone's really into the luxuries of pampering themselves now, even if they're little luxuries.
Yeah.
Whereas things like Peloton bikes and, everyone has too much loungewear already.
Yes.
It all happens in cycles, I do feel.
Yeah, it all just swings in roundabouts, doesn't it? And I think one thing that I learned from COVID especially was not to take things for granted and to like really push forward with things that I want to do. And also like, those little luxuries and those little treats, like they actually really mean more now because I think as a hairdresser, that is something that I noticed within my businesses and personally is like people now don't take that for granted. Like going like 6 months without having your hair done, I think people are now very much like, right, I need to make sure I'm in the salon, I've got this. And that was really a big shift.
Definitely.
So, and I think that happened across all industries. It was like literally crazy.
It made people probably realize quality is important too. And they were like, no, I want to go to Samantha and
Yeah.
Samantha only.
Yeah, which is really nice. So that's lovely.
Yeah.
So obviously we've touched on like, the Airbnb and the Uber, but that's kind of how buy rotation is easily described in a way, isn't it? But like for the clothes in the industry, how is your vision for what the company was like, so 5.5 years ago? Is the vision that you had what came to fruition, or is it like has it changed?
Yeah.
Is it what it was, or is it better?
I think I've always had tunnel vision in that this needs to be all about sharing. So in terms of our values, they very much remain the same, 5.5 years onwards. What I would say is in terms of the product itself, this silly little girl, me, was like, I just want to build a two-sided platform where I can rent her stuff and she can rent mine.
Yeah.
And the business takes a commission, 15% each side, and I get to make some money because this stuff is just dusting in my wardrobe anyway. What I didn't fully imagine from this early on platform that we had, which was built this way, was that actually it's become so much more than just that. It's actually a community of fashion lovers, of people who love lifestyle premium objects. And it's actually become a social network.
Yeah.
So the product, which is the app, the technology, is no longer just a marketplace, no longer just like, Gumtree listings, that kind of thing. Yeah. It's actually people following each other on the app.
Oh, wow.
And repeat renting from the same person over and over again.
Wow.
We've got amazing new features such as the wallet feature, where if you make money on the app, you can use it towards renting or purchasing from others directly without reaching out.
That's clever because that keeps obviously the money in the
by rotation. That's why it's called that. And then also we've got this other feature which I love because we expanded in the US a couple of years ago. Yeah. We're already profitable.
Wow.
The feature is called rent by location.
Okay.
So say we're here today, right? And you suddenly get an invite for a gala dinner. Yeah. You're like, well, I'm not going home. Where do I get this black tie dinner outfit from? But you can check what's around your radius and just collect it the same day from a lender nearby. And that's game changing for a place like the US, which is such a massive country.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
And it's also really great because a lot of 60-minute, 90-minute delivery businesses are kind of out of, well, they're not really around anymore.
So no, I think it's only Net-a-Porter, isn't it? It still does that and charges you a fortune if you need something.
Exactly. And it's so great because we see a lot of people with last minute emergencies. And also it's a great way to find out who's in your neighborhood. Yeah. We like to say love thy neighbor within the buy rotation team. No, but it's become so much more than just a marketplace. Yeah. It's become a real social network. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's something that you can't just emulate it and be like, I've already built something else that's like buy rotation. I think it's very hard to emulate the brand, the community, the goodwill, the reputation that we've built painstakingly from a very grassroots level for 5.5 years. You can't just throw money at the problem. No, it's not possible to do that.
But how do you think you've managed to weave this community vibe through the DNA of buy rotation? Because that's ultimately what it is. It's like it's in its DNA, right?
I think we really mapped out the user persona. So the different types of customer profiles that we believe we would have. Yeah. We identified 4. Out of those, 2 are the most active. And out of the 4, we noticed some would be lenders only, and some would be renters only. And then there was a couple of them which would be both lenders and renters, which is amazing, by the way. How often do marketplaces like Airbnb and Uber have both the driver and the passenger, same person?
No, they don't. Never.
But we have that, which is incredible in terms of acquiring our customer. Often what happens is that it's mostly women on the app. Yeah. She will download the app. She'll be like, oh my God, I can rent this amazing Rixo Reformation Zimmermann dress for, £60, £70. That's even cheaper than Zara or H&M. Yeah. Wait, I have a lot of these dresses in my wardrobe. Why don't I list them? So that has been incredible,
and that just expands it out.
Yeah, for network effects, I think that's really how we built out the community, and I'd say we've done a lot of grassroots activations, and we've kept everything very, very close to the ground, which maybe it means that we haven't had growth like complete crazy virality growth like Duolingo or whatever. Yeah. But actually it's allowed us to keep very realistic connections where if you look at our retention rate, it's 85%. So most of my customers are repeat customers. And you and I know this is so much more expensive to get a new customer than to retain one. Yeah. So do what you can for your existing customer.
And I think that's the thing, you see these businesses that pop off and have these viral moments, but often it's very short-lived. Yeah. And, there's not that substance and it's a fad. Exactly. Yeah. So I think whenever I'm talking to other business owners and people that have had these viral moments, I'm always waiting for them to be like, right, well, this is great. How am I retaining them? Yeah. But everyone's riding that wave too much sometimes. And you're like, actually, it's not about followers, and it's not about that. It's about retention. It's about engagement and community.
And that's why my team and I were very fixated on the fact that we're not just a moment, we're a movement. Yeah. And this takes time. Yeah. right? All great things take time.
Yeah.
You know, we are building habits here. It's a cultural shift. It's a mindset shift.
It's definitely a mindset shift because, like, you know, like you said, it's so you don't even think about it when you rent a hotel room. But with clothes, it's like, oh, but you always share for clothes with your girlfriends.
Yeah.
Like, it's just that on a
But
bigger
sometimes,
scale.
but over time, your girlfriends and you might not be the same size anymore.
Yeah.
Same for your mom and your sister.
Yep.
And that's why buy rotation is so great, because you're almost renting from women that you aspire to be
Yeah.
or have the lifestyles of, but you don't necessarily know them and you can't ask to borrow them for free.
Yeah.
And that kind of cuts out the awkwardness,
Yeah.
but you become online friends almost.
Oh my God. Oh, yeah, we all have those. I've got people that I've never met, but I'm really close with on Instagram. It's so
Yeah.
weird. But like, yeah, and it's kind of like building.
But you wouldn't ask them, like,
No,
can I
like,
borrow your clothes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, this takes that awkwardness out. 'Cause
Ask
it's
them
like,
their buy rotation username.
yeah, there you go. That's it. It's like, it's taking something that could be quite transactional,
Yeah.
but building it into like a community, right?
And like something that becomes part of day-to-day life.
Yeah.
And that's why I say we're building habits. And I think those take time.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not here to build a brand within 5 years and sell it because I'm a celebrity for $1 billion. Yeah, we saw that with Rode, right?
Oh,
Yesterday.
that's literally, I know. I can't
Yeah.
believe that.
And that's
$1
great
billion.
for her. That's
Yeah.
great for her. But I have a lot of question marks as to what's going to happen to the brand after. And I think I'm too much of a conscientious person to say that I'm here just to make money.
Yeah.
Like for me, I truly believe in profit with purpose.
Yeah.
If I cared just about wealth, I wouldn't have left my career in finance. And that's the
Exactly.
truth.
Yeah. No, that's it. And like, you know, ultimately profit isn't a dirty word, and it's nice to make the money because
You have to be pragmatic.
exactly. And I also like to think like I need my business to make profits because I want to grow it and I want to build it and I want to give more people opportunity.
And you want to be
like,
better for your customer.
Exactly. So you need to be able to do that. But yeah, like you say, the exit strategy isn't just to like kick the arse out of it and then sell it on. Like,
Yeah.
that's just not
Yeah.
like that's just not.
And I think,
Couldn't do that.
and at the end of the day, the business is very much purpose driven.
Mhm.
You know, our mission is to transform consumption for good.
Yeah.
We won't just stop at the UK market. Like I mentioned, we're in the US, we're launching in the UAE at the end of the year.
Wow.
I myself am a third culture kid.
Yeah.
I'm Indian, grew up in Singapore.
Mhm.
So for me, I really want this to be a global phenomenon like Uber and Airbnb.
But like right with this location thing, that's like kind
Yeah.
of like the infrastructure that you need, right? So you can ultimately travel without clothes.
That's
like the ultimate
exactly
dream,
what happens
right?
when I go to the US.
Yeah.
I just bring a cabin luggage
Mhm.
for an entire week to LA and New York.
Yeah.
And I rent from people locally. So when in Rome, dress like a Roman.
Yeah.
That's kind of what
Oh
we're
my God,
working
ima-
towards.
it could be that true French girl chic in Paris.
Yes,
Like
yeah.
that's just
And then-
incredible.
And then we've also seen other categories
Mhm.
being listed on the app very organically.
Okay.
So we've seen things like baby carriers. So, you know, the arty pope. I think
Yeah.
that's how
Oh
you
yeah.
pronounce
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Very expensive.
Yeah.
Different prints and patterns.
Yeah.
You want them to match maybe your like holiday outfit or your wedding guest outfit.
I saw on. I obviously I was flicking through the Times articles, and it was on about you renting Labubu.
I have one on my bag now, I must admit, but I like them more
Yeah.
because they're like paying an homage to my Asian childhood, which I love. I think obviously some people are doing it just because it's a fad and a trend, and that's why we always say rent these things.
Yes.
And some of the collectors who love them have actually very openly shared them with others, which is really great
Yeah.
because they're just dusting and
Well,
like
of course,
a
because people are
display.
buying them to try and get the super secret ones, and then
Oh, yeah, the brand
10
one.
duplicates
Yeah.
of like the same doll.
Exactly.
So yeah, I guess renting
The
those is
collect-
genius, really.
Yeah, and I think, and so besides that, we've seen things like the Lima laser,
Okay.
which is like 5,000 and 2,000 pounds, which, you know, you want to try before you buy
Yeah.
something like that, right?
Gosh, so it's just got
Genius.
so much more. It's like it's almost got more capability than you ever even considered, I guess,
Yeah.
at the beginning.
Yeah, it's become so much more than a two-sided marketplace. It's so much more than fashion.
Yeah.
I think it's really about democratizing access to lifestyle goods for
Yeah.
people of all walks of life.
Yeah.
Because I truly believe that we're not buying fast fashion because we're horrible people who hate the planet.
Yeah.
We're doing that because it's maybe all we can afford, or
Exactly.
it's all the mental capacity and bandwidth that we have. Like, you know, if you're thinking about people who are struggling to, like, you know, a single mother who's like thinking about feeding her kids and sending them to school, she doesn't have time to think about sustainability. She doesn't hate the planet. That's why she shops from fast fashion brands. It's because we haven't made it accessible and inclusive
Exactly. I
enough
think
to her.
accessible is that key word, isn't it? Like to make sort of brands of like, you know, out of people's price range, really, some of them to there's nothing more that you'd love to be able to go to someone's, like, say you're going to someone's birthday party that you've not seen for a long time and you want to go and project that you're, you're your most successful self, but you've had like an unexpected electricity bill or just something real life situations where you just haven't got the budget to go and buy something completely like amazing, but you can rent it.
And that's why one of the things we work on as well is making sure everything's very, it competes with fast fashion prices. So instead of spending that £70 on a Zara dress, go and rent
it.
higher quality, designer brand.
Yeah, it makes so much sense.
Thank you.
So it started in the UK.
Yes.
So then when did you take it to the States? How did that happen? This season is sponsored by Sephora, and their message is one that I absolutely love. We belong to something beautiful. Sephora is more than a store. It's a space where diversity, joy, and creativity come together. From the skincare aisle to the beauty hub, it's a celebration of everyone's most authentic selves. So whether you're shopping for your signature scent or trying out K-beauty for the first time, Sephora is here to champion your beauty your way.
A couple of years ago now, and honestly, it was, I know this word is overused in like business terms and startup world, but it was very organic. So one of the things I really wanted to leverage off was the technology.
Yeah.
So the app is very scalable. I don't have stores, I don't have inventory, I don't have product. So all we really need to do is launch the app in a different geography and start building a community. And by community, I mean finding lenders and renters. But first you need lenders because you need listings.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so for the and it depends what kind of listings you want. And based on listings, say if you want it to be premium listings, then you need to find lenders who would have these premium items
that they're happy to lend out as well.
Exactly. So it was really about leveraging our community, our connections from the UK, and saying, do you have any friends in the US? Be that influencers, celebrities, women who might like collecting these items and have big wardrobes. And it was very much sort of, I don't want to say beg, borrow, steal, but it was very much like leveraging personal networks from friends, family, team members, and other friends that we had in the UK.
Wow.
And I think it's a very community-oriented business. We've been called the sisterhood of the traveling dress.
Yeah.
And it's very much that.
And it sounds exactly like that.
Thank you.
It's honestly,
I know
so
it's not
inspiring.
sexy to men, in terms of like,
I get
aggressive growth, but
Yeah.
I don't want to be like Clubhouse where you're the hype of the moment for
And then
2-3
you burn
years
out.
and then where are you?
Yeah, it's not sustainable and it's not going to help anybody, right? Like
This is about helping people.
Yeah, and helping it to do good for the planet
And the
and
planet.
and the fashion industry as a whole. So it's really inspiring. So when you've started and you bootstrapped it, did you take in investment to grow it, or is it sort of always, has that happened organically, or?
Yeah, so I bootstrapped the business.
Yep.
Then we went to COVID. No transactions. And it would be insensitive as well to push people to rent clothes when people are dying during COVID. Like, who cares about fashion? No offense. So I bootstrapped the business. Then when we started sort of seeing traction in the number of listings, so not so much rentals, but more listings, I did a friends and family angel investment round.
Oh wow, okay.
So and ex-colleagues. So actually my previous career, which by the way, you should never underestimate, your previous career and your colleagues, they might want to invest in your business. And I asked a few of them and they were like, we're seeing this stuff on your Instagram. Like, what is this? It looks interesting. We're seeing some famous people talk about it. We're seeing you in the press. The app is real. We downloaded it. Okay, I there's this thing called SEIS where you can get tax rebates for investing in startups.
Okay.
Innovative startups. And so, some of my ex-colleagues were like, well, I need to park some money somewhere and this gives me tax rebates. Win-win. Want to support a female founder. I know you. I trust you. You're not going to run away with my money. So it was kind of beneficial to do that round. And then after that, I had an extension because I had a few others who actually, some of my customers were like, can I invest? I really want to invest. Actually, one of them showed up to a pop-up we did at Westfield, White City. And insisted 2 weeks after giving birth to be an investor. She sat there and she's like, I want to meet the founder. I want to invest. And I tried the app. I love it. There's something here. I need to invest my personal money. So I was like, okay, I'll meet you. And I met her. And she's one of, I would say, like a sister to me now. You just never know who you meet.
Incredible. You never know, do you?
But my customer, essentially. And then we did a venture-backed round, which, kind of takes you to, I suppose, the next level of growth. So we've raised a few millions in that round, and now I have a proper board and all of that. But again, all of this is really just fancy language and fancy terminology, which, can seem a bit sexier than it is.
Yeah, it seems a bit daunting at times as well,
Exactly,
doesn't it? But
exactly.
when you break it down, it's not.
It's just, people that you kind of have to answer to keep yourself in check, because, you do want to take the business to a different level of growth.
Yeah.
So we are venture backed now by 3 VCs. We have some other institutional funds that are involved. We've got some family offices as well.
Wow.
And then I recently raised another round, which was actually from sort of a viral moment, by leveraging on my personal and professional networks.
Yeah.
When I spoke to the Times newspaper about how men are just not investing in female-founded businesses because they just don't get it. Yeah. They say they want to do it. There's a lot of lip service. They want to offer you mentoring and office hours, but they don't want to write you a check. And I will not stand for that.
No, I'm calling them out. That's amazing.
Yeah, and I was like, do not take credit for supporting females when all you want to do. Yeah, when all you want to do is offer your time and say we should get training. Like, you're taking away from the messaging. That's lip service.
And we are not silly little girls.
Yeah, exactly. Don't take space.
Yeah.
Because you're deflecting.
You're wasting my time.
Exactly. And you're trying to get credit for something that you're not even doing.
Wow.
And I know there's quite a few now, I think, sort of institutional organizations now that are speaking to people at government level about how there needs to be more funding going to female founders and things like that, and female-founded businesses. And I think one of the things that having worked in investments before as an investor, but more in public markets, I've been saying that there should almost be like a rule like you have for greenwashing, where you can't talk about supporting females unless you actually have signed a pledge that part of your funds, like 5%, 10% every year.
Female-founded businesses.
Don't talk about it if you don't do it. Simple.
No, I mean, that makes so much sense, doesn't it? And again, it's these conversations that they're not having.
No.
People don't even know about this kind of thing.
No.
Like,
the thing is, there's a lot of like noise.
But no action.
So much. Yeah. And people love to take space because they love to, grab the attention.
They love the sound of their own voices, don't they?
That's true.
Like, but actually, when you break it down, it's like, what are you actually contributing to and what are you not doing? Like, it baffles me that, it's that extension of like, it's even as simple like you think of like the pay gap and then the pension gap, and now it's even on a bigger scale of an investment gap, and it's still happening. It's still crazy that we have to have these conversations, like, really.
Yeah, and often I understand early stage funding is difficult because a lot of it is based on the founder and the founding team. Like, you don't know if you can trust them. Maybe they'll run away. Maybe one day they'll be like, I'm starting this business. And they're like, yeah, actually, I've decided I just want to be an influencer because I have all this money. No, it's happened to people.
No,
So I understand that.
Yeah.
And therefore, unfortunately, what happens from that is, people who are the ones writing the investment tickets, they end up investing their friends and family friends because they trust those people.
Yeah.
And that's a shame because so many other people don't even get a chance to pitch.
No. And it's those people that tend to probably have like the most amazing businesses and not getting those opportunities.
No.
It's that whole like
diamond in the rough.
Yeah. And I was speaking about this earlier. It's like that whole nepotism like movement where it's like that really.
That's early stage funding for you.
Yeah.
It's about who you know.
Yeah.
And I think I had this huge wake up call when I started becoming a part of this fashion media world. In finance, it was very merit based. It was like you get a job not because of your last name or because of the way that you look or where you were born or which school you went to or which neighborhood you were brought up in. You get a job because you passed the assessment center.
Yeah, and you've got the qualifications.
Yeah, and you did the interviews and you have the right attitude and you have a great work ethic. But here, it was very much like, let's give this person a job because she knows the right people. She will pull in these people. And I think I really struggled with that. And, people who are my tribe were like, sometimes you just have to get on with it. You have
playing the game, isn't it?
And I hate that. I'm one of those people who, I don't have a large following on social media, probably because I refuse to play the game.
Yeah,
but
I'm with you on that one.
I care about my integrity. Yeah, and I think of myself as a serious business owner.
Yeah.
And this isn't just like, this isn't my only life. I have other things offline.
Yeah. No, and it's so important. And I think I think a lot of people do when they found a business and when like it's growing, it becomes all consuming.
Yeah.
So
It still is.
yeah, of
Yeah.
course, and it always will
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
But making sure you carve time out for yourself and that other things that you want to do, I think is like it keeps it fresh and exciting as well. Like,
Yeah.
and I always, whenever I step back from the business, I always find more inspo to drive it forwards as well. And it's like that. I never want to forget that because sometimes when you get so bogged down, like in that day to day, you forget the big picture.
Yeah.
And like it's actually terrifying that can happen.
But I love the fact that I get these reality checks when I go offline. You know, like a lot of my friends outside of this world are very much still my corporate girlfriends who are my customers.
Wow.
To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Right. Because they're the ones who like want to rent high quality stuff and they're like, well, we don't want to pay $1,000 for a dress, but we're willing to rent it for like a fraction of the price.
And honestly, people are only going to want to wear them once.
Yeah.
As well. So it actually makes blinding sense. Like, I can't believe that this wasn't something before by rotation, honestly.
No, and there's some real money to be had.
Yeah.
You know, we've got some customers who are stock picking, dress picking, as we call it. They have spreadsheets where they're like, I bought this dress, I need to rent it out 6 times and I made my money back. They are properly, I mean, it's not really what I founded by rotation
No.
because it's more about
But
scale.
again, that helps with the lenders and helps grow the platform, right?
You know, it's been very financially empowering for some women.
Yeah.
Like some of them have quit their jobs because it allows them to spend more time with their young kids and run their own business from home.
Amazing.
You know, it's allowed a woman to pay for her IVF and now her surrogacy. Like, you know, it's allowing a woman to save up for her mortgage deposit.
Yeah.
Like all these stories are just
Empowering.
Yeah, and it's not really it's not what I thought about when I
Yeah.
founded this. I was like, oh, I just have all
I was going on
that.
honeymoon, I want these nice pictures.
Yeah, and I have all this stuff at home
Yeah.
that I don't really wear that often. I wear it 5 times a year, but I don't mind if someone
It's
else has.
deeper than that though, isn't it? Like when you really dig into it and you do your customer analysis, it goes beyond that surface level of just wanting to show up in a fancy like Zimmerman gown.
Yeah.
But it's empowering people to, you know, make
Feel their best as well.
feel their best
Yeah.
and have accessibility to things that they wouldn't have.
I mean, I'm sure it's the same for you with hair, right? And hairdressing. Like, you make people feel like how they maybe couldn't even imagine that they could feel that way.
That is the most rewarding part of it all.
Yeah, and the emotive connection is the reason that they will come back to you over and over again. And I think that's something that no one can take away from your
And I
business.
think, you know, I think because it's really funny because when you said like you're probably one of your like target market client profiles.
I used to be a top customer, no longer.
We see this for me. I built my business around me being that sort of customer and also the person that I was aiming to get to work at the shop. And I think because you have that real clarity on who you're talking to, it just really helps resonate with people and you get people to connect.
Yes. And you don't have to look sideways all the time to see what the other person is doing, because you're like, I know what I want. And my chances are my customer is going to want the same thing.
Exactly.
And I make my own path. I don't follow others.
Yeah. And you give people the path to do the same. And that's amazing. But I suppose one thing I wanted to talk to you about, because you were named on the Forbes 30 under 30 list, weren't you? Which, I mean, when you say that to anybody, everyone's like, wow, that's so amazing. And like, but I'd love to hear from you on like what that actually means and like, what doesn't it mean at the same time?
So I'm quite I don't know what that word is escaping me right now, but I'm quite a grumpy person.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm very cynical.
Okay.
I'm quite a cynical person, and I kind of see things as they are. And I knew that getting on the list was important because it was a box ticking exercise for someone who is raising venture capital money.
For sure.
Yeah,
Got to help with that.
Yeah, because if I don't have it and another founder who might be doing something similar to me has it, then it could look like I lack something special. So that's the only reason I was like, I should try and get it. And I did get it. But I have to be honest, you know, there's some few running memes online that I've seen, like Forbes lists are a way of tracking who's going to commit fraud or who's going to go under and things like that.
Yeah.
And no shade to them, right?
Yeah.
I'm very honored. And, you know, we get mentioned in Forbes articles, which still,
is amazing.
you know, people love. Consumers are like, oh, you're on Forbes. Wow, article. So I think it still carries weight in that way. But I don't think it's the end all if you're not on the list. I know so many incredible women who aren't on the list or didn't make it on the list. And they're killing it in their careers. And I feel like this list is just like kind of a vanity thing, as are a lot of these other lists. So
Yeah.
for some of us who are in competitive spaces, they help tick the box.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to change your life, to be totally honest.
No.
It did help.
Gives you a lot of pressure now as well. Like if you're named on that and it's like all eyes on you, and then it's like, God, this really does need to take off now or keep going.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the prestige around it has kind of gone, just
Yeah.
because there have been a few fraudsters
Oh,
that have
yeah.
been listed on it, which honestly made me feel like maybe I shouldn't be associating myself,
That's
just to be a bit
interesting.
candid.
Yeah, no, it's
Because for me, I do take these things quite,
Yeah.
like association does matter,
of course.
because it speaks to your values and your integrity. And if I'm working in sustainability, like that matters to
Yeah.
me. But yeah, I guess to anyone listening in, don't get obsessed with this list. It's not
It's
not
a
that
nice
great.
thing to have if you need to raise some like a VC fund, but
Yeah.
like, yeah, don't strive for something that's ultimately not going to do that.
I'll tell you who it impresses: the aunties and the uncles.
Of
So if you
course.
care about them,
Yeah.
then go for it.
Oh my
But
God. Yeah, but to be fair, I feel like any sort of article that I could write something that's so rubbish and like in some like far out little magazine, if my mum gets it, everyone's seeing it.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
You know what? That's lovely. And I like that. Yeah, that is, I suppose, that would be printed out and put in a frame, I'm sure. And like your mum's house.
There'll be a lot of frames then in your house.
Oh my God, no. Yeah, we'll have like a win wall or something. That would be quite cool. But going back to like the sustainability thing, because that's something that is really important to me as a business owner, like where we are now, which is like my co-working space. This is all built around sustainability and using like everything we can. Like even the podcast room we're in, we insulated it with cork, for God's sake, like to make sure that everything was super sustainable. And like you saw the textile waste firsthand, didn't you? And obviously and that's part of the core reasoning for launching this as well, right? And like, how do you make sure that you keep everything in that sustainable realm? This ad is brought to you by our sponsor, Sephora, and honestly, they just get it. Sephora's mission is to help you celebrate your unique beauty with a curated mix of global brands, cult faves, and names like Merit and Tower 28. Their expert teams are on hand for everything from benefit brow shaping to signature makeovers, and you can redeem services against products too. I mean, iconic. Because beauty should feel like play, not pressure.
Yeah, we have outlined 4 values, and sustainability, I'd say, is the top one. So every time we even partner with another brand, we're like, is this brand displaying signs of being sustainable or moving towards becoming more sustainable? And I think that's been something that if I somehow forget about it, my team members who've been with me since 5 years into the journey will be like, I don't think that brand's on brand. I don't think we can work with them, Eshita. Have you done your research?
Yeah.
So in a way, we kind of police each other.
Yeah.
And for me, the way that we've made By Rotation a sustainable business is just from the premise of it. It's a fully circular business. Sorry, I'll say that again.
Yeah.
It's a fully circular business model. We don't own any inventory, and the inventory belongs to you. It's sitting at home. We don't encourage people to buy stock. Sure, there are some people who are treating it as a business.
Yeah, they basically made their own store.
Yeah, and it's not something that we endorse and encourage, but you know, if it's financially empowering them, they can do what they want.
So they're still helping because more people are wearing that dress, right?
Yeah.
Ultimately, than just one person and it just being stuck somewhere until it goes to landfill.
Exactly. So I feel like from the complete, business model, we're just fully sustainable and circular. So for me, sustainability is about being circular. It's about reusing, resharing, and sharing and just consuming less. I think personally, just having grown up in Singapore, which is a very, that our country is known for shopping and eating, and I definitely excelled at shopping. And I think I'm just so over it now. I think clothes don't really bring me joy.
No.
Even the fashion side of By Rotation, in all honesty, it's not something that excites me. It's the community and the stories and even the tech side of it that I find really exciting.
I think the tech side is what I find really exciting about your business because building an app and like having it like,
the interactions that happen on it, you're like, oh my God, like Stacey Dooley is renting from just like a regular person. That woman's freaking out. She's like, oh my God, Stacey likes my wardrobe. Just things like that. I feel like, how special is that? And connecting people.
And it's rare to do it in such a way. And I think, the technology is what, when I obviously started researching and looking into By Rotation, I was just like, How has she done that? Like, it's literally just so incredible, and it's like it's not like a
you.
cookie cutter like thing because you built this.
Thank you. I
Like,
think, again, the product has evolved
mhm.
from being just a marketplace to becoming more of a social
Yeah.
network. And I think, yeah, it's become, people are opening the app every day.
Mhm.
People are putting it on the first screen of their phones.
Wow.
Like that to me,
That's
when I see someone's
amazing.
phone,
On
I'm
the
like,
first
hey,
homepage.
yeah, I'm like, hey, that's my app. And they're like, yeah, use it every day. And I'm like, okay,
Like,
cool.
cool.
No
That's
big deal.
normal to you.
Yeah,
Like,
whatever.
get out.
Yeah,
Like, that's
exactly.
like that is seriously cool, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think for me, knowing that it can be scalable,
Mhm.
and a lot of people, hopefully in the world, around the world, can use it one
Yeah.
day. That's cool.
And I'm sure they're gonna.
I hope so. Yeah. That is definitely the vision and the
Yeah.
mission. Yeah.
So, well, yeah, what is next for By Rotation?
Well, we currently have a townhouse pop-up in Mayfair, down from Claridge's, which
Oh,
was
that's so cool.
it's so special because obviously it's such an iconic British location.
Mhm.
I'm not British. I'm an immigrant, so I'm just like, it's kind of cool, like making it in a
Mhm.
country that's not your home, and feeling like I'm contributing, and not taking jobs away, but actually creating jobs
Yeah.
in this great country that I now call home.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's been extended, so we'll be around for a bit longer. You'll find out
Wow,
soon until when.
exciting.
We are launching in the UAE, as I
Yeah.
mentioned. Very interestingly, we've also seen gaps in the market in Asia, Singapore, where I'm from.
I could see that
Well,
definitely.
there's a lot of wealth, but
Yeah.
not a lot of choice for
Right.
hair as well, but
Oh, good to know.
just so you know. So that's been really, really interesting, kind of, realizing that we can very quickly scale abroad
Mhm.
and into different categories beyond fashion. All we really need is the app to quickly open,
Yeah.
and then us building local communities everywhere. So that's what I'm really excited about in the near future.
It's so exciting. I just think, yeah, like what an incredible like epiphany, and then to be able to bring it to fruition in such like an incredible way. Like
Thank you.
I mean, I hope everyone that's listening is as inspired as I am, because I'm just thinking tech, fashion, like just your whole like the values behind the company. It's very rare to meet somebody that's so driven and doing it for good
Thank
as
you.
well. Like
Thank
it's
you.
really amazing.
Very kind.
No, it's true and it's honest. So, yeah, I have a few quick fire questions
Oh,
that I always have
cool.
to end up. I
Okay,
was thinking
okay.
quite
I'm
fun.
scared.
No, don't be scared.
In a good way.
No,
I like
yeah.
to be scared.
No, so these are like very just like fun little questions.
Okay.
So, what is the one item in your wardrobe that you'll never rent?
Oh God. Okay. Well, I rented it,
Did you?
and I realized yellow's not a good color to
Okay.
lend out if you're precious to people.
Okay.
White is okay.
Okay.
Yellow is more tricky. I'd
Really?
say. Yeah. So be careful. There is this dress, a Jacques Muse knitted, like it's long sleeve and
Yeah.
it's it fits like a glove. It looks like Morticia Adams, but in summer. That is the dress I want to be buried in.
Okay.
I'm Hindu, so I won't be buried. But my team knows.
Okay.
Like, do not ever ask me for that dress. That is my dress. I want to be buried in it.
It's not for renting.
No, I actually bought another one just in case. And
So you got a backup.
oh no, it's stored like at the back of in another room at home. Like no one is going near it because I insist on being in that dress when
Yeah, but you need to be.
yeah, I'm precious about that dress. I
That's
look
amazing.
amazing in it.
Well, then, yeah, that's it. Why is yellow not a good one to rent out?
So I think if you drop anything on it, it's very
Shows.
hard to remove that color.
Fine.
It's a butter yellow as well.
Oh,
It's
okay,
like a
fine.
very delicate color and fabric. And I'm just like, you know what? If there's anything that you're very precious about, don't list it on there.
Fair.
Because it is
Sure,
about
that's
sharing.
common sense though, anyway, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
because people are wearing these clothes out. So if you are super precious, like,
Exactly.
Don't-
So now I don't put anything on there that's too precious to me.
mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So, is there a founder that you would love to swap lives with for a day?
Yeah, I mean, we've exchanged a few notes in the past, but I'd really like to see what he's getting up to. It's Brian Chesky,
Okay.
the founder of Airbnb. Well,
Ah,
co-founder,
yeah.
and he's the current CEO.
Okay.
He's, he is a founder. He built it up, and now he's still the CEO after IPO.
Yeah.
He sounds very, very involved, hands-on to date,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm surprised by, because a lot of startups will then pass on the baton
course
to
they will,
someone
yeah.
who's a bit more I guess, professional. And a
Yeah,
bit
or
more
experience and
level.
scaling and stuff,
Yeah,
right?
but he's done it from the outset. So I think it's pretty intriguing. And I love Airbnb. I think that's a blueprint of the sharing economy.
That I think.
And he's a bit of a crazy one if you follow him on socials.
I mean, to come up with Airbnb when they did, like,
Yeah.
because it's been around for a long time
but
now.
it's not a
like,
real idea.
no,
it's just the way they did it. And that takes
Well, it's just made it so intuitive to be able to use it as well, like accessible.
Yeah.
So, a fashion moment you wish you could relive.
Well, it's not my fashion moment, although I'd love to pull it off if I could. It would be Britney Spears in the music video Toxic.
Oh, iconic.
The different looks,
Like,
different hair colors,
yeah.
the different outfits and personalities. God, she is hot.
Yeah. Oh, I know,
Sexy.
Britney. I just, whenever we look back at Britney when Britney was Britney, and I'm just like, help her.
The good old days.
Like, oh, I know, because I keep seeing all these videos where she's in Mexico in like Cabo doing.
Oh, you
like,
mean recently?
Yeah.
I haven't done.
Oh my God, you don't follow her on Instagram.
Oh God, I think I would be
Probably better not
depressed.
to.
Yeah.
Sorry. And then finally, one thing you tell yourself when it all feels too much.
When it all feels too
much, yeah.
Ooh.
Because running a business is really hard.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, is there any days when you like, when you're just like, God, what am I doing? Like, what pep talk do you give yourself?
Well, I think I just kind of say to myself, whatever I'm doing, I ask myself, can I live with myself after this? And that's how I also make the right decisions. As long as I can live with myself after the decisions that I made, after the business I've created, no matter where it goes, then I'm proud of myself.
Yeah. Well, that's such a nice one. That's a really good compass as well to have, isn't it? So yeah, very good.
Thank you.
And then closing thoughts. What would you say to anybody that's like, got a side hustle going on?
Yeah.
And they want to, maybe look at expanding it and exploring it.
Yeah.
What would you say to them? Because you've done it.
Thank you. As have you. I'd say I would try and grow. I'd try and experiment as quickly and cost effectively as possible. Don't be obsessed with perfection and what other people think. I used to think that my friends, all these corporate women, were going to be my customers, and they only became my customers 4 years later. They weren't my early adopters. They didn't get it. They were like, this is a weird idea. It might work, but it might work only for you because you like fashion-ish. We don't like fashion as much as you. So don't worry too much about how other people, like what other people are thinking and saying about you. Start failing quickly.
Yeah. Amazing.
Sorry, that was a long one.
No, but that's perfect because, things, it's got to be real, it's got to be authentic. And
I just feel like a lot of people in the industry are very obsessed with having like the perfect Instagram, the right number of followers, the right looking website or Shopify or whatever. And I'm like, no, you need to know if people even want to buy this thing.
Yeah.
It might be really shit.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Yeah, but it
But
might
it's
have no
actually shit.
substance.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
And also, you can be so convinced that something's a good idea, but until it's out there, you have no idea,
Yeah.
right?
You have to put yourself out there. You have to be open to rejection. I think that's something that people shy away from too much. Being rejected.
Yeah, because nobody wants to be rejected, but ultimately,
I love rejecting.
Well, I mean, have you grown a thick skin to be like that? Because
I think I don't have a thick skin when it comes to personal matters, but professional matters, it just helps me figure out who I am and who I'm not. So like being rejected by investors. Okay, I don't fit your thesis.
and yes,
you don't
you
get
don't
it.
fit me, so
Yeah, that's it. It's not meant to be. It's not a perfect marriage. And, getting rejected by boys growing up. And
Yeah.
well, I hope you're missing out now.
look at what
Now,
you do.
exactly.
I always think the worst thing that someone's ever going to say to you is no.
Yeah.
And that's it. And it's not that deep sometimes. And like you say, just take that and move on. So yeah, well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Samantha.
Oh my God, honestly, this was amazing. And I'm obsessed. I'm going to be on by rotation now like a complete maniac.
Yes,
I'm like,
please.
right, this is it. But yeah, thank you.
While I have you, it would really help me out if you could just hit follow or subscribe, depending on which platform you're getting your podcast from. And I can keep bringing you these amazing conversations with these incredible guests. And yeah, I will see you next week on the Silly Little Girls Club.